Welcome back for another episode of NBA 2K14, and you see the last episode in game number 4 in overtime in a close game by 4, 134-130, and the even series at 2-2 belongs to the Miami Heat. Beat the New York Knicks in a close overtime matchup, and for the New York Knicks, it's gonna be a good side. So you see Carmelo Anthony have 29, J.R. Smith 28, Raymond Felton 19 assists, 16 points, Inman Shumpert 12, Tyson Chandler and Amari Stoudemire 10, and the rest of the New York Knicks. And meantime, for the Miami Heat, LeBron James got 32 points, 3 assists, Dwayne Wade 26 points, 8 assists, Chris Bosh and Mario Chalmers 17, Ray Allen 14, Shane Battier 9, Lilo Saslam 6, and the rest of the Miami Heat. A huge victory in number game number 5, game number 4, as to even the series at 2-2 belongs to the Miami Heat. So now in in-game music is ready, but the series is tied 2-2 on the line. We'll find out here. We'll see about that. Let's check out the bracket right here. The only team in the Western Conference Finals secure as the Dallas Mavericks defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the sweep. So they only have one game right here once again since doubleheader Sunday. That would be another doubleheader blockbuster Monday. This would be a one game again. Here we go. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals here from United Center in Chicago. It is gonna be John Wall and Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards taking on Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls. As can the Chicago Bulls looking for advance to the second conference final ticket and looking to return to Eastern Conference Finals, or while the John Wall and the DC Wizards looking to force Game 6 back in DC. So for this game, same jerseys will have the lineup here, the Wizards in the red, the Bulls in the white. So for now, we're ready and go to send Kevin Harlan. Enjoy at United Center. Starts now. Game 5, it's on. Let's do it, and here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to NBA action here on 2K Sports. A big, warm Mother's Day greeting to you. Love you, Mom. It's the Washington Wizards going up against the Chicago Bulls. See you at the half.
As the playoffs continue, the action intensifies. 8 teams eliminated, and now the true contenders begin to emerge. Nothing can be taken for granted, and those not ready for the next level will be the next to go. This is round 2 of the NBA playoffs.
The great one, Michael Jordan. His mark left indelibly on the city of Chicago. You can hear the roar here at the United Center. This is a do-or-die situation. Big Game 5. Always decisive. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, and welcome to 2K Sports and the NBA. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. And as we take a look here at Derrick Rose, guys, what's your take?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's special because he lives for the big moments. Fearless. I mean, he will take any big shot down the stretch. He wants the ball in his hands.
And also, he's one of those guys who can cover 94 feet in the blink of an eye and often does, with or without help on the break.
You look at Chicago. Well, there is a buzz, guys. This building right now as they hold a 3-1 game advantage in the series. They want nothing more than to deliver the big win to a very deserving crowd.
And Kevin, their fans are going to welcome them home with style. They want to see this series come to an end tonight. And with the 3-1 series edge, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Probably is a good word in this situation. They did what they needed to get back home with a chance to close it out in front of their fans. But if they can't do it, they'll have to go back on the road for Game 6. And this series could take on a whole new texture.
I'll tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that.
In the name. The stuff.
You know, for a player with his explosiveness, that was ATM time. Cash money, the easy way.
That kind of defense is not going to cut it against him.
Cash money. I like that, Clark.
And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. And he lays that one in.
Quick hands on the steal. Quick feet on the break.
Costly mistake to fork that ball over and then not get back on D.
Butler kicks to Rose. Beyond the arc. That one goes. On with it. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I caught up with Coach Randy Whitman. What they need to do to stay alive in this series is simple. He told me it all comes down to team basketball. He said sometimes they have guys that put it all on themselves to win a game. That simply can't be the case tonight. Getting everyone involved is the only way they'll get where they need to go. Let's see if it happens, gentlemen.
Thanks, Doris. And here's Wall. After the 3 moments ago from Luol Deng. Back to Wall. And he banks in the layup. Wall's got his second basket of the night.
You know, size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
But you wouldn't know it by how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
Now here's Rose. Rose off the bid from Noah. Rose kicks it to Noah. Beal with the steal. And here we go, the Wizards fast break. Butler with the block. Now Noah. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
4 makes on 4 tries. Everything's falling early. 100% can't do better than that.
Tries again. And it's good on the way in.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Noah with a screen for Rose. Deflected. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
Chicago shooting their first free throw of the night. And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Chris Singleton, he's checked in for Nene. Webster comes in for Porter. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Bradley Beal. And it's Maynard in for John Wall. Washington trailing. They come off the loss on Friday.
Their defense got absolutely destroyed in that game as they weren't closing out on the perimeter shooters. They were allowing people to get into the paint and score from point-blank range. Just an overall abysmal effort.
Yeah, something was missing, no doubt about that. They let an opponent shoot a really high percentage, and that's got to be a concern going forward. I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Maynard dishes to Seraphin. And fouled hard that time. No cut to the line, shoot 2.
Defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
Nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen from Chicago?
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Marcus Teague, he's checked in for Chicago. And Maynard gets it to go.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here's Hyman. Deflects the pass. 2-on-1 as they jump on the break. A finish. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
Always some entertainment value when you go with the windmill jam.
Yeah, rim shaker and Steve a wrist breaker.
Outrageous. Man.
2 open that time. Made it look too easy.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from 3-point range.
Isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say it.
Let's see how that impacts things here because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
It's stolen by T. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. And stolen by Ariza. Here's Maynard. Kicks it to Singleton. Ariza outside. Good on the triple. Ariza's got 5.
What a start to this game. The offense is both dominating.
Tell you what, feels like a game on the playground. Forget about defense, just keep firing.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Down low. And Seraphin throws.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Near the three-point line. What a play!
Pretty shot without a second to spare.
That can be so demoralizing for the team that gives up a shot like that to close out a quarter.
And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Wizards out front. They're up by 2. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Game 5, Eastern Conference Semifinals. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Live this Monday night.
And thanks for joining us once more as we get set to continue our coverage of the Eastern Conference Semis. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Washington.
When they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Chicago's gone along perfectly from three-point range tonight. They've gone 5 for 5. And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at the Wizards. Inside, we've got Vesely and Nene. Garrett Temple is out there with Wall, and it's Rice into the 3. Gibson against Nene. Wall attacking. And Vesely shot.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yeah, you got that right, Kevin. He's such a reliable finisher.
The Wizards with the lead. And the foul on Marcus T. That is his first foul of the game. Bradley Beal's checked in for John Wall. Beal, that's for 2. And the Wizards getting another bucket right there.
Well, you know, when they need a big three, he's the guy they look to. He's about as reliable a deep threat as you're going to find.
And Steve, just like you, when you shot, you had a favorite spot on the floor when you played. His favorite spot seems to be that 3 from the corner.
Yeah.
Bulls moving the ball around. And that one's good.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
They double him with Butler. Nene, the pass to Temple. He kicks it to Beal. He passes to Rice. And again, Washington with the triple.
You gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Bulls trail by 4. Here's Gibson, and it's rejected. And Beal kicks to Temple. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Temple's got his first bucket of the night.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, their offense in the paint hasn't been a whole lot better. Look at the combination of size and touch. That's why he's a great finisher down low.
For Chicago, they have shot just 1. Go early. 1-for-1 in the game. Wizards making a switch here. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Butler with the steal. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Blanketed by the D, who fights to the rim for the layup. Butler's got his second best. The Wizards have gone a perfect 4 of 4 since the second quarter began. Perfect from the field. Into Nene. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Here's a peek at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the top rebounders in this year's playoffs. Joakim Noah fourth.
Tell you what, he's dialed up his rebounding here in the playoffs, and the big games seem to bring the best out of him.
With the stuff.
You know, if the defender is going to play often like that, guys, it's pretty easy to predict the result.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Rose with the ball. Now brought down by Temple. Rose goes in. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Rose has got his third basket of the night.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with his finger roll.
It's Beal on the wing. And it's blocked by Tank. Outside Butler. With the lead pass. And that one's good by Noah.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
So timeout called here. The first for Washington.
Yeah, they were getting windy. Good call here to give them a quick breather.
Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Washington. Maynor comes in for Garrett Temple. Here's Beal. Off the inbound pass. And that one's good. Beal's got 4 this quarter.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
Inside. Throws off the bit from Muhammad. Stolen by Seraphin. And now Beal pushing it up and no one back to stop.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, and he's going to finish firm when he gets to space.
Still, I mean, it's startling that he'd even try that right now.
Maynor kicks to Beal. The basket good off the assist from Maynor. 10 points here for Beal.
They've worked the ball around very well. I'll tell you what, they continue to find good looks from mid-range.
Well, they're just taking what the defense is giving them because the defenders are backing off and daring them to shoot.
Muhammad dishes to Heinrich. And Boozer first.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yes, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasting no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Washington. Ball comes in for Bradley Beal. And Wall, here we go now, uses the glass to finish the layup. Wall's got 6 points.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Rose against Wall. Pulls up on the wing. Again, Chicago. Here's Wall. He has 6. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. And the Wizards making a change here. Chicago's gone off with a three-pointer tonight. They're a perfect 7 of 7. Back to Heinrich. It's good from long range. 9 points in the game so far.
They've gotten a bunch of good looks and been absolutely lethal from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, you got to get some bodies out there defensively, though. I mean, the things are way too easy out beyond the three-point arc.
Here's Ariza. Cannot hit. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Bulls lead by 3. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Round 2 of the NBA playoffs is in full swing. This is 2K Sports. Out at the United Center, the Bulls have the lead against Washington. They still hold a commanding 3-1 lead in this series, and with a win here, they'll be on to the next round. Derrick Rose playing impressively so far. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And a scrappy effort by Washington. Great activity defensively. They're taking measured risks, trying to force turnovers, putting a lot of pressure on that end of the floor. Bradley Beal having a huge impact. After 2, he's got 10 points, and he's made some key plays in the assist department, too. And that'll be all for now. Thanks so much for joining us. The third quarter, just about to get underway.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And we welcome you back here to the broadcast of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
Yeah, the magic touch with the ball. He just made great decisions, piling up the assists there in the first half, and really doing a nice job for his teammates.
You know, it isn't a very common occurrence, Steve. Typically, he's more likely to be on the receiving end of the pass, but so far, it's been the other way around here.
D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the back out front cruiser. And it's Dang in at the 3 set. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. Wall attacking. And that one's good. Wall's got 8.
Well, as athletic as the players are in this league, Kevin, John Wall, I think, is one of the best. I mean, he's so strong for a guy that size. Blazing speed, incredible quickness. So he can blow by defenders and get right into the lane.
Steve, it's almost unfair to see how easily he makes the most of his athleticism, isn't it? My goodness. I mean, not only can he run for days, but he looks like a cat out there the way he's able to twist and turn through traffic.
Wall gets a screen from Beal. Dang against Porter. Wall attacking. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. 10 points for him.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Man, it's not necessarily strategic, Clark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. Got to play hard, guys.
Here's Butler, rejected by Nene. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. That is his first foul of the game. Trevor Ariza's checked in for the Wizards. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. And he lobs it for the win, and Seraphin throws it down.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod. And then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. Their teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make it a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Butler goes in, and the call will be against Joe. Team Noah. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Got good looks. They've made 3 out of 4.
Wizards making a switch here. Here's Maynard, defended by Butler. Rejected by Dunleavy. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Heinrich, and he uses the glass on the layup. And now a 6-point Chicago lead.
Coming out strong here in the third quarter. That's 4 for 5 shooting for this team.
Maynard gets to Ariza. He feeds it to Maynard. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Maynard's got 5 now.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Heinrich kicks to Butler. And a great assist by Heinrich as that one goes in. Heinrich's got 5 assists in the game. Maynard the pass to Nanette. Feeds it to Webster. From deep. And again, Washington with the triple.
Good job creating just enough space to let that one fly.
Taken away by Nene. Pass to Webster. And he cans it with
Completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Change here. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Heinrich kicks to Butler. And a great assist by Heinrich. That one goes in. That's 12 points for Butler.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's Ariza. And again, Washington with the triple.
And it feels like the energy has just picked up big time here. Both teams now feeding off each other's intensity.
I don't know what was said in the locker rooms at halftime, Steve, but it's obvious both sides of the set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pick.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, Clark. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
Here's Heinrich. Soft touch off the glass. Heinrich's got 4 points this quarter. Wizards trail by 3. Ariza dishes to Nene. That's blocked by Murphy. They retain possession. Here's Serafin. And Washington again with the bucket.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Yeah, I've been impressed with just both teams' energy, just really working hard on the board.
And he hits it and gets helped down the play. 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Wizards making a switch here. Teague's checked in.
Well, the big thing with Noah, Kevin, is that he's a hustle player. He gets on the glass. He's a tremendous offensive rebounder, and his long arms allow him to block shots defensively, get out and cover pick and roll with those quick feet. Well, this is a player who does a lot of things well.
And that dedication also manifests itself on the court, Steve. I mean, Joe has said himself, hey, I don't have the most talent. So he's really embraced, I'm going to work harder mentality.
Here's Teague. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Teague's got 5. Wizards trail by 4. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
Chicago leading by 4. Heinrich kicks the tee. Outside Dan. Takes the 3. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. 6 points for Luol Deng.
His shot's been pretty accurate today, but he has not had his usual share of opportunities.
It's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the 4th quarter. Bulls out front, up by 5. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
Game 6 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. LeBron James and the Miami Heat take on Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks. Live this Wednesday night.
And we're back here at Game 5 with more action about to get underway. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Bulls.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And how about the touch they've displayed from long range, guys? I mean, as a team, they are really shooting the ball well and executing from the control. What a huge play.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Yeah, I like that. And some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
Gets it to go.
And now both of these clubs really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Exceptional play to take the bump and still get it up and down.
Yeah, way to stay with it and look to finish the play right there.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Porter. Wizards trail by 4. Dishes it to Ariza. Again, the Wizards good for 2.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist number. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Boozer kicks to Gibson. Shot is off. And Washington the other way now. Ariza, right side. Ariza, right side. Outside, Wall.
Down hard. That's good.
That's right. You use it, brother.
The windmill finish. Now that's nasty.
How do you do? Finishes the play. Utter disregard for his own safety.
Look at his teammates. They're just shaking their heads. I mean, he must have told them to look out for that one.
Wizards trail by 3. Here's Ariza. Yes! And the foul. They get Carlos Boozer.
Well, he earned that one. Took the hit and still found a way to knock it down.
Yeah, fantastic body control. And the will to get it done. You like that focus.
Free throw drops for Ariza. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Well, they were getting tired out there. A quick timeout gives them an opportunity to catch their breath.
Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, Kevin. Tom Thibodeau had some words for his team in that last huddle. He told his guys, listen, we've got to make the most of every opportunity right now. We can win this game, but it's all about making every single possession count. Guys, we'll see if they can come back.
Gets it to go. And that's now 7 points here for Marcus T. The Wizards have gotten every shot they've taken so far. In the fourth quarter to go in, that's 5 in a row to start the quarter. Washington calls timeout. You gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
And the Bulls making a change here. Knocked loose. And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Wall again throws. And Wall. Here we go now. Seraphin the pass to Beal. From about 19 feet. Yep, right through the net.
Feels like a flip has been switched at halftime because both teams now really getting after it.
And it's been a fun half of basketball, Steve.
Here's Rose. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. And the Bulls lead by 2.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Took him no time at all on that one. 16 points for John Wall.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Rose dishes to Boozer, and it's sent back by Seraphin. Wall up top, and they take the lead. Wall's got 8 points in the quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Wizards.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
So you can see how they've gotten after it defensively. I mean, the steal totals are really something to admire. Now, he's one of the best in the league when it comes to executing that lead pass.
Here's a reason. And that comes off the assist by... John Wall. Wall's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Rose kicks to Dang. Another 3 for Chicago.
He's such a clutch shooter, Kevin. He just lives for the big shot.
Washington calls timeout. They're losing by 1. 1:44 left to play here in the fourth. Porter's checked in for Washington. So it's the Wizards now. To the paint. Here's Seraphin. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Boy, this is shaping up to be a real barn burner.
Well, I think it already is. I mean, we're going to find out which team tightens up under the pressure and which one can stay poised.
Outside Butler from downtown, and again it's the Bulls.
This defense is giving their shooters free rein to operate from behind the arc.
That's right. I think it's time for them to start closing down. You've got to run shooters off that three-point line.
It's Wall with the drive. Right through the knee for the layup. Walls has got 10 points in the quarter.
Keep getting him the ball. He's been delivering here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's zoned in now. I mean, 6 of 6 in the quarter and looking for more. That's good. They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
The shot by Nene, no good.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
And here's Rose. Noah with a screen on Porter. Rose passes to Butler. Pocket 6. Rose. Oh, some nice ball movement here by Chicago. 9 feet out.
Good! Well, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
The game has come down to this.
Ginormous possession here.
What intensity. And Luol Deng gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. And a big play there to mute the crowd.
Yeah, that one kind of took all of the life out of America.
Kind of quieted the voices in here, didn't it? Oh!
Wow.
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now we've got the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Huge free throws there, and that could be the difference. He will force, more than likely, a desperation three-point attempt.
Here's Wall. It falls! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
Yeah, beautiful drive there, going right around the bigger man.
And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, you can't let them pound the ball and just milk those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses at the line.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a three-point game. Washington's gone to three-point range 7 times tonight, knocked down 5 of them. Tipped. Seraphin is covered by Rose. Now here's Porter. Here's Beal. Oh, couldn't make that shot go to force overtime. And the Chicago Bulls will move on. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coaches happy with the outcome, but maybe not so much with the margin.
That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, Doris Burke, Kevin Holmes, saying thanks for tuning in to the NBA Eastern Conference semifinals presented by 2K Sports. Now, Jordan presents the player of the game.
Wow. What a close game in Game 5, and now the Chicago Bulls are the second team to secure the conference final spot into the Final Four. Here's the stats in Game 5 belongs to Chicago Bulls. We had a great victory in the close by 3, 104 to 101. Down to the wire just like Game 4 and ending on another single digits. Never lead changes, never double digits yet in Game 5 in the series. Only the quarter ends the Wizards win in first quarter, but important is despite in comeback for the Aces. Derrick Rose have 22 points, 8 assists, Jokie Noah 18, Butler 17, Heinrich 13, Newell Deng 9, Marcus Teague 7, and the rest of the Chicago Bulls. On the other hand, for the Washington Wizards, John Wall 26 points, 10 assists, Trevor Ariza 15, Bradley Beal 14, Seraphin 13, Webster 11, Nene 8, and the rest of the Washington Wizards. What a close game here in game number 5 as the Chicago Bulls are on their way to the second spot to the conference finals of the Final Four. So the second team are in the Final Four tickets. So now Dallas and Chicago are now here on their way Eastern to the conference finals. And we have a doubleheader tomorrow night. We have a deadlock showdown. Game 5 series is tied 2-2. We have it tomorrow night. We're on the H-Town Toyota Center in Houston. Game 1, the first game will be Dwight Howard and James Harden of the Houston Rockets trying to regain the series again, or will be Tim Duncan and Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs trying to looking for taking the lead for the first time in the series. We'll see about this. Tim Duncan up against Dwight Howard, and followed by second game, we're on the American Airlines Arena in Miami as Carmelo Anthony and Jared Smith of the New York Knicks trying looking for the retake the lead again, or will be LeBron James and Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat trying looking for taking the lead in the series for the first time in this rivalry. What a close game down to the wire. Bulls win 104 to 101, and we have an NFL tomorrow night. This is going to be an interesting matchup. CBS, we have Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals take on J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings. Could be a good one. Second one will be the rematch of the NFC Divisional Round, featuring Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams take on Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. The third one was the NFL on Fox. America's Game of the Week will be Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys take on Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. And in conclusion, on NBC Sunday Night Football, heading to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, it is going to be Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs take on Russell Wilson of the New York Giants as both teams fall to 0-2, looking for the first win of the season. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. So, what a close game here as the Bulls beat the Wizards win the series 4-1 and on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. This is Andre Kenshin saying so long from United Center in Windy City, Chicago. We'll see you tomorrow for Game 5. 2 of the series is tied 2-2. Will be the first game here at Toyota Center in H-Town, Houston, Texas. Will be the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets, followed by the second game here in American Airlines Arena in South Beach, Miami, Florida. Will be the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. Say so long, and that's a wrap up here. Buzzer sounds, and that's a wrap up. I'm out and peace. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow with the series is tied 2-2 of Game 5 of the Western Conference Semifinals will be San Antonio and Houston, and Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals will be New York and Miami. So long, everyone, and thanks for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, and have a nice day, everyone, and peace.